Welcome back to the Most News in the Morning. On this Memorial Day, we have a look at one World War II veteran's lifelong mission.
Leon Cooper. Leon Cooper says that mission is to pay tribute to Americans who gave their lives in service to their country. John Roberts sat down with Leon Cooper to discuss his wartime experience in his project, A Return to Tawara.
It is one of World War II's deadliest battles, and it still lives on to this day for the victims' families. It happened on November 20th, 1943. U.S. troops arrived on the Red Beach on Tawara Island, a Japanese stronghold in the Pacific. And after 3 days of fighting, more than 1,000 Marines fell under enemy fire. It was recently documented in a film, in large part due to one Navy officer who fought in that battle.
On board a Higgins landing craft, Ensign Leon Cooper was responsible for the lives of hundreds of men. For the thousands of Marines riding to the shores that morning, no one could imagine the ferocity of the battle to come, or the death and destruction they would soon face.
The film follows Leon Cooper, who returned to Tawara 65 years later in February of 2008. His mission was to recover and repatriate the remains of the American Marines who were still unaccounted for. And since the film was first released, there has been a lot of progress on that front. Leon Cooper joins me now with an update. Leon, great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us. Why did you want to go back to Tawara in 2008?
Where I landed, Marines of the 2nd Division, Red Beach, where I saw scores of my countrymen fall under heavy Japanese gunfire. When I stumbled across an Associated Press dispatch many years later that said, where hundreds of Marines died, there are now millions of plastic bags and other garbage. My shock turned to anger because I tried to reach the usual suspects in Washington over a period of a couple of years. Nobody paid any attention to me, so my friend Steve Barber finally argued me into returning to Tawara 65 years later with a camera crew to film the outrage of Red Beach.
Was the goal to just show these Marines who gave their lives in defense of this country the respect that you thought they deserved?
I thought it was a disgrace to their memory of so many guys who died that the garbage that littered Red Beach. My shock actually was really more overwhelming because I learned when I got there that there were perhaps hundreds of Marines who still lay where they fell in unmarked graves.
So the documentary came out, but your work has continued unabated. What has happened since then?
Well, the film has had the effect finally that we had hoped for. The Department of Defense is sending a team later this year with express orders to identify, recover, and repatriate the remains of maybe hundreds of Marines who are still there.
You've talked to a lot of families, I assume, of these brave Marines. What have they been telling you?
I've had hundreds of emails, letters, phone calls from their relatives wanting to know where their remains are, the circumstances of the death, or anything that I can do to help recover and return the remains of these guys to their homes. It's heart-wrenching for me because I saw it firsthand. So many of my countrymen within inches on occasions during my many landings, and now I'm dealing with the relatives of these guys who died.
This is a bigger project, though, isn't it, than just Tawara? There are tens of thousands of Marines who are reported missing in the Pacific campaign. What are you hoping to do with those tens of thousands of Marines?
I've set up a nonprofit corporation which will receive charitable contributions that will enable me to film the battle sites of a number of places where the majority of American casualties took place. My objective here is to have this as a wake-up call to America, to make everyone possible in this country become aware of the scandal associated with the fact that these guys are still there 65, 70 years after the battle.
Thanks so much for joining us, and good luck with your project, the noble one that it is.
Many thanks again, John.
What an incredible story.